Joey Tribbiani. He is so charming, he can get any woman he wants. He's so sweet, he's successful, but there is a dark side to Joey. Let's explore it. Hi everyone, I'm Rosie Blythe. I'm the author of the Princess Guide to Life book series, and on this channel we talk about all things from spirituality to dogs. And today I'm continuing my series on Friends and the best and worst of each character, and today Joey is bad.
My treat. But that's only because you're not eating anything, right?
First of all, he is stingy. He is mean. He is not just bad with money, he is mean with his money. So at various points in Friends, Joey is a struggling actor, so he does not have much money, and I'm not going to criticise him for that. I think it's really hard to make it in the arts. He does kind of hustle. He has various jobs where he's like spraying perfume on people and telemarketing and all the kind of standard in-between actory jobs that people do. But even when Joey has got money, he doesn't use it to pay back people that he's borrowed it from.
I need to borrow some money.
Oh, I don't know, Monica. You know, lending friends money is always a mistake.
But Chandler lent you money.
And I think he would tell you it was a mistake.
So I think this is kind of the difference, isn't it, between someone who has no money because they're broke, because they don't earn very much, and someone who is just mean. And Joey is mean because he continues to be stingy with his money even when he does have it. So Joey is always mooching off Monica's food and drink. Now, to be fair, they all do this. I think Joey probably does it the most, though.
Oh, hey, Rach. I was just coming over here to, Oh, wait, I don't have to lie to you. You don't live here anymore. I'm eating their food. What are you doing?
And it must be especially annoying because we know it gets mentioned that the building doesn't have an elevator.
You should warn people there's no elevator.
I don't know if getting your shopping delivered was a thing in the 90s. I certainly don't think it would have been in a New York apartment building. So imagine that you're Monica, you're buying your 6 packs of Diet Coke or whatever, you're lugging them up the stairs, putting them in your fridge, and then Joey drinks them. It's annoying. You know, he's a strapping young man. Maybe he carries her shopping up for her sometimes. I don't know. We don't see that happen. So in series 8, Joey actually works out how much he owes Chandler for acting lessons, dance lessons, headshots, all that stuff.
So I'm writing you a check for... So you fell asleep during my movie. Big deal, right? How do you clear this thing?
He's earning at this point. You know, he's a soap actor, he's doing movies, and he's just like, no, I'm not going to pay back that money. Like, if I hit it rich and I had been mooching off friends for years, that would be like such a great pleasure to pay them back. And I think most people, they would really take pride in that. Like, yes, I can finally pay you back. Not Joey. He is stingy. And then when the fridge breaks and it's like 40 years old and it was obviously gifted by his parents, they probably got a new one and gave him the old one. And he is determined not to just buy one of his own, even though it's his apartment at this point and Chandler has moved out and Rachel has only just moved in. And he's just like, no, I don't want to pay it myself. Stingy.
No, for my new fridge, for our new fridge.
Our new fridge? I don't live here anymore.
So what? Look, okay, suppose we were a divorced couple. And I got custody of the kid, right? Now suppose the kid dies and I gotta buy a new kid.
Okay.
Give me $400! You could just, you know...
What the hell are you doing?
What the hell am I doing? You just broke my fridge! Broken! That'll be $400.
Joey, I saw you push him.
You pushed them!
You know, the worst thing is he's not openly stingy. He kind of is secretive about it. And again, this is a point in the series where he's actually making good money. But for some reason, Chandler still enables his mooching.
And Chandler, I can't believe I let you pay for this one.
Thanks again, man.
So if you guys want to come over tomorrow, I'll make that pasta thing I was telling you about.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, but hey, look, at least let us bring the wine.
Oh, you don't have to.
No, but I insist.
You get the wine, right?
When Joey and Ross are trying to date Kristen, Joey says he doesn't have any money.
Maybe I'll take her to that new French restaurant down the street.
Hey, wait a second now. Look, we're gonna have to set a spending limit on the date. I don't have the money to take her to a fancy place like that.
He's an actor on a soap. Where is his money going? He has a roommate at this point, so he's not covering the whole rent himself. What is he spending on? He doesn't seem to have hugely expensive spending habits at this point. He's got past it. I'm gonna pay for ridiculous decor for my home.
So what do you think? Casa de Joey. Huh? I decorated it myself. Get out.
He doesn't seem to go out a huge amount. Like, he dates, but he doesn't spend money on dates.
So let's decide on a spending limit.
Yeah. A slice. $6.
So it's like, unless he's secretly donating all this money somewhere, he's just being miserly and just keeping it in a bank account somewhere or under his pillow. Because it's Joey.
Hey, listen now. What do you guys know about investments?
How come?
Well, I'm starting to make good money on the show, and I'm thinking I should probably do something with it.
What do you do with your money now?
Well, it's taped to the back of my toilet tank. I didn't say that. It's in a bank guarded by robots.
Oh wait, actually we do know what Joey spends his money on, and guess what? It's something for him.
It's mine.
What?
All that stuff you just said, I want that.
Joey, you don't have $20,000.
Who cares? I'll make payments, whatever it takes. I want them, Mr. Beaumont.
They all seem to do a little bit of casual stealing from each other. Joey takes the money that Ross gives him in good faith to go like, hey, just gamble for me. And he's just like, no, I'm just going to spend that actually. Which is pretty typical of all of the Friends and how they operate, so I don't know why Ross trusted him.
Hey. Just want to say goodbye to you guys.
Okay.
And to see if maybe you guys will place a little bet for me, huh? $20 on Black 15.
You got it.
All right.
You want to eat? My treat.
Isn't that Ross's money?
Yeah. Okay. Ross's treat.
I'm not going to complain too much about Joey not sharing food because it's given all of us a funny line to say when we don't want to share our food.
Joey doesn't share food!
Because sometimes you don't want to share it. Phoebe and Joey have fairly similar kind of trajectories, but she's not stingy. Phoebe is probably the least financially successful of the six because her jobs are like busking, being a masseuse. And you know, Phoebe does all these jobs. She doesn't complain about being broke. She somehow manages to maintain just enough to live on. Generally, she's working for herself, and so she does all kinds of stuff all over the place. And Joey does a little bit of that. But there comes a point like quite late on in the series where he is very successful. He's an actor. He's on TV all the time. She would be a lot poorer than he is, and she does not go around trying to make everyone pay for her. In fact, he lets Phoebe pay for him, which is really crap when you think. I've just realised that just as I was speaking, I was like, oh, he lets his poor friend pay for him. That's really crap, Joey.
How about dinner tomorrow night? I'll pay for myself.
And you know, there's no reason why he shouldn't have taken just more of those crappy jobs. It's probably easier these days. I mean, these days he would just have an OnlyFans, wouldn't he? Or something of that nature. In fact, he does do some dodgy adult films, doesn't he? So he's obviously willing to do quite a few things for money, but he's not willing to do enough to make money that he doesn't have to mooch off his friends. He's quite happy to take money from anyone who'll give it to him. And to do that when you're broke is kind of like, oh, that's not a great characteristic to have. But to carry on being like that when you do have money, that is not a good friend. I know this is controversial, but hear me out. This is my pet theory about Friends. Joey's bad in bed. So this one's a little bit saucy. I don't know how YouTube is going to deal with it, but I will try to be polite as I talk. Okay, so where do we get this idea that Joey is so fantastic in bed? He's such a Lothario. It mainly comes from Joey himself.
All right, well, I guess I'll just have to do what I do on dates.
And I think there's something we can all agree on. It's always the guys who brag about how fantastic they are at anything. who turn out to not be very impressive at all. That just seems to be a universal law of life. The more someone brags about how great they are at something, the more disappointed you're going to be when you finally see them perform and you're like, oh, that's not very good actually. Let's have a look at the evidence that he is good. And Chandler dates Kathy right after Joey.
So, did you do it?
Yes, we had this.
Uh-oh. It was bad?
It was fine, but she didn't agree with me as strongly as she agreed with Joey.
So that seems to be fairly good evidence that he is at least okay. We have Susan Sarandon saying that he owned the bedroom.
Well, you certainly owned that room.
Actually, I rent the whole place, and I just got what you meant. Thank you.
She might just be being nice. I think women do sometimes say nice things. But here is the absolutely fundamental fact that he is not good in bed. When he is not allowed to do everything because he is taking part in a medical trial where he needs to conserve what he has. How can I put this on YouTube? You know the episode. Just watch the episode. You'll know what I mean.
What did she think of your little science project?
What, you think I'm gonna tell a girl I like that I'm also seeing a cup? Yeah, well, I still got a week left to go in the program, and according to the rules, if I want to get the money, I'm not allowed to conduct any personal experiments, if you know what I mean.
Joey, we always know what you mean.
Anyway, Monica decides to educate Joey about what he can do.
Hold on there, Tiger. How's it going? How you holding up?
Well, not so good. She definitely thinks tonight's the night we're gonna complete the transaction, if you know it. And you do.
So, have you ever thought about being there for her?
What do you mean?
Just be there for her.
Not following you.
Think about it.
And he has absolutely no clue what she is on about. Luckily for everyone involved, he does figure it out. But the following conversation lets us know that Joey is not normally the kind of lover who would put the other person first.
I gotta tell you, Joey, you are nothing like I thought you would be.
How do you mean?
I don't know. I guess I just had you pegged as one of those guys who are always me. But you're a giver.
It's also very clear that Joey has actually never had this response from a woman before.
Well, it's like last night, I couldn't do the thing that usually makes me great. So I had to do all this other stuff. And the response I got, man, oh man, was like a ticker tape parade.
Now, to be fair, it's quite an early season, so maybe he gets really good. Maybe that was like the turning point, and from that point on, he was fantastic. Although this does seem doubtful because he explicitly says that he's not going to continue to put women first and is going to revert back to his usual way of doing things.
Hell of a 2 weeks, huh? But you know what, though? I really feel like I learned something.
Really? So you're gonna stick with this it's all for her thing?
What, are you crazy? When a blind man gets his sight back, does he walk around like this?
But here's the thing, he does go through a lot of women. Go through, that's horrible, isn't it? He does sleep with lots of women.
You've had a lot of sex, right?
When? Today? Some, not a lot.
But they never seem to hang around very long, do they? I think he mentioned at some point that he's never dated anyone longer than 2 weeks, although we do have a reference to him going out with a woman for several years and she never has a birthday during that time.
What did you get for Angela Del Vecchio for her birthday?
She didn't have a birthday while we were going out.
For 3 years.
I get the impression that that's who he dated when he was maybe a teenager. You know, he comes from this like Italian Catholic family. He probably was going to settle down with like one woman early on. I'm making up this whole mythology about Joey. But yeah, and then maybe he discovered like, oh, I'm really hot. I could probably get a lot of women if I wanted to. And I think Joey's convinced that it's down to him that these connections never go anywhere because he doesn't call the women because he has no interest in pursuing a relationship with them. And we do have one example of a woman who says that she had a really good time with him and was disappointed that he didn't call.
Yeah, we had a really great night, and in the morning he promised he would call me, and he didn't.
But she is just one out of how many women in the 10 seasons? It's got to be well into the triple figures. We never see women banging on the door. We never see him getting phone calls. So these women are not pursuing him. When he does have semi-relationships, I mean, Janine is a couple of weeks. Kristen Davis came on. She played, I think it was Erin. Was that her name? She's happy to come home with Joey after a date. And she's happy to hang out with his female friends. But when it comes to seeing more of Joey, she kind of just doesn't really have any interest in it.
I'm sorry. It's just, there's no real spark.
No spark? Didn't you sleep together?
Yeah.
Oh, tramp.
The most important piece of evidence that Joey is not good that way is coming back to the first point. He's stingy. I believe that if somebody is mean in one aspect of their life, they're going to be mean everywhere else. I don't think you're going to find people who are fantastically generous in one way and then stingy in another. It just doesn't go together.
I think you're either a generous person, concerned with giving and giving other people pleasure, or you're not, and you're all about your own pleasure. And we already know Joey is all about his own pleasure. When he has money, he spends it on himself. When he's attending to things, he's only really interested in what he gets out of it.
So now we know. So in these videos, I like to dress in a kind of thematically correct way. And I thought for Joey, lumberjack shirt, right? But I do happen to have a Hello Kitty Las Vegas shirt, which I'll just show you there. And I thought Vegas, pretty appropriate for Joey being bad.
Joey does not approach work with a professional attitude. We see many examples of this. When he is fired from Days of Our Lives for telling lies and just saying, oh yeah, I write my own lines. The writers don't take too kindly to this. And they kill him off on screen. But he does not want to go.
Anyone else need to go on the elevator? Dr. Wong? Dr. Wong? No. They only said you. Oh, okay. All right.
I love you, Drake.
Yeah, whatever.
Drake, look out!
And when Joey does get a job, teaching acting, of course, he uses it to sabotage someone else's audition.
Really good. Thanks. Any suggestions? You told him to play the boxer gay?
And it doesn't work out because the guy is a better actor than Joey is anyway, and he does a great job at the audition.
They liked the stupid gay thing and cast him.
And you see Joey's unprofessional side. When he thinks he's been rejected from the Italian nude film, he just starts ranting. And that's just not how you do it. That's not how you maintain your acting career.
Will I be reading the same scene again?
Actually, I tried to call you. You didn't need to come down here today.
Oh, great. You know, I would have been perfect for this part, but whatever. You know, thanks for making a bad decision and ruining your movie. Good day.
Wait, Joey, you didn't need to come down because the director saw your tape from yesterday and loved it.
And scene. Wasn't that fun? We did a little improv there, yeah.
And I think in reality, somebody like him at his level, you know, there are thousands of cute soap opera actors to choose from. I don't think he would keep getting jobs with the attitude that he has. And when he's at the award ceremony, of course, he's very unprofessional there.
And the Sophie goes to Gavin Graham from The Young and the Restless.
So he just doesn't have that like switch in his head that most of us have where we're like, I probably shouldn't do this right now.
Any one of the brilliant actresses nominated for this award tonight deserves to take it home. Unfortunately, only one can. She's tonight, so I'll be accepting this award on her behalf. And I'm sure that Jessica would like to thank my parents, who always believed in me. She'd also like to thank my friends.
And he refuses to re-audition. And you can kind of see his logic that why would he need to audition to play his own twin brother? Like, of course it should be him. But most actors would be like, oh, okay, I've just got to audition. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, of course, I'll just do it. Yeah.
Here are the audition scenes.
Audition? I thought you were going to offer me the part.
Why would you think that? Everybody has to audition.
I guess you think you're pretty special, huh? Sitting up here in your fancy small hall building. Making stars jump through hoops for you, huh? Well, you know what?
Hollywood stars, they have to audition. Like, even when they're quite big, they will still, you know, read a scene or act out a scene or whatever from the big movie that they're up for. There are going to be other people who are also quite high in their career, and it's like, if you're all up to play Batman or whatever, you're going to have to audition. And so he has to come back, and because of all his nonsense about not wanting to audition, he has to come back in the end with his tail between his legs. And it would have just been better if he'd been professional from the start and just gone, of course, I'll audition. Like, that's my job. I'm an actor.
And it's clear that although Joey is actually quite an experienced actor, he knows nothing about the mechanics or the art of acting.
All right, let's start with some basics. Can anybody tell me what the difference between upstage and downstage is?
Yeah, this was a stupid idea.
Oh, hey! How's your audition?
I'm sorry, do I know you?
What are you doing?
Nothing, I'm just practicing blowing you off, because I'm going to be a big movie star.
So the thing is, if you're friends with an actor, you are going to have to watch them in some pretty terrible stuff. And of course, in this very close-knit group of friends, they do all support each other very much. But nobody gets as much support as Joey does, I don't think. Like, they sometimes book a massage with Phoebe. Ross goes with Rachel to fashion shows more as a jealous boyfriend, but, you know, he goes to show support. They don't really go to Monica's restaurants. When she's in the novelty cafe, they do sometimes. Rachel goes there. But they, like, no one gets everyone turning up the way that Joey does. And yes, his job does lend itself more to that, because obviously if you're an actor in a play, you're going to get your friends tickets. If you're on TV, they're going to watch that episode. But Joey kind of expects them all to drop everything for his career, whereas I don't think any of the others get this kind of support and recognition for their careers.
For instance, they all worry about hurting Joey's feelings about his acting skills, but they have no problem telling Ross that his dinosaur lectures are boring.
So what'd you guys think? Wow, well, my folks really liked it. So, what did you guys think?
Well, it wasn't that good.
And when Joey finds out about an audition through Ross, because Ross's son has been, you know, discovered, Joey is not a good friend.
This guy's like the biggest commercial casting director in town. Ben takes one lousy walk in the park and gets an audition? I mean, way to go, Ben! I'm thinking about this whole commercial thing. You know, me going up against Ben, the two of us competing, and... But that can't lead to anything good. So, I think I'm just gonna step aside. I'm gonna tell them that I won't audition.
Wow, Joey, that's great. Thanks, man.
That's it? You gonna let me do this? This is my career we're talking about here.
But you just...
I just said that so you wouldn't let Ben do it.
I do see Joey's point that it's his livelihood, whereas for Ben it's just a bit of fun. But at the same time, he just expects the world to revolve around him.
Ross is actually very gracious, and he kind of suggests that, oh, it's because you really wanted Ben to get the job. I don't think it's that. I think Joey's just not a very good actor.
Hey, you know what? Maybe you didn't mess up your audition because you suck. Maybe you messed up because you care more about your godson.
It's kind of crazy how often Joey's friends are actually in a position to help him with his career, and he's certainly not shy about asking for favours. He even bugs Chandler to contact an ex from 10 years ago in the hope that she can get him an audition.
Oh, no, please, Chandler. I would owe you so much.
You do owe me so much.
And he's always wanting roles, even if they're not particularly appropriate for him.
But I really don't think you're right for this. The part calls for a stuffy college professor.
I could do that. I don't know. In my experience, if a girl says yes to being taped, she doesn't say no to much else.
So this is something we definitely saw more of in the early seasons, I think, because that's when the writers were still kind of trying to figure out all the characters and work out exactly who they were. And I think because Chandler was like the funny, neurotic one who didn't have any success with women, was just like depressed about his divorce, Joey had to be the womanizer. And because of that, and because it's the 90s, womanizing comes with a fairly healthy dollop of misogyny.
Now you go get that beautiful pig.
So Joey is not very nice about women. There are some really quite shockingly unpleasant things that he says.
Come on, man. She's needy. She's vulnerable. I'm thinking, cha-ching.
That's horrible. I mean, I'm not saying that a lot of guys wouldn't think the same way, but Joey says it out loud.
I can sense when women are depressed and vulnerable. It's one of my gifts.
So he's pretty predatory. And maybe this is how he's got so many women to go to bed with him, because he just, like, he targets them.
Okay, Joey, your bet.
I fold like a cheap hooker who got hit in the stomach by a fat guy with sores on his face.
I just really don't like that line. I don't like it coming from Joey either. And I think I think Friends had a very different tone to start with. I might have to do a video on all of this, but it did change. I think it did become a lot lighter over the season. So I think maybe they started out maybe slightly edgier, and then they kind of went, oh no, we want it to be fun and frothy and just like comfort TV. So they just slightly changed the tone for the better, I think. And Joey, when we see him in action, maybe this is also another reason why women don't come back for more. He treats women just like they're idiots. And maybe sometimes they are, but he's not intelligent enough to be as patronizing as he is. He really needs to have a little bit more humility.
Which is why I waited until now to introduce you to Mike.
I thought you thought he was still a lawyer.
No, that's not what I meant. Let's get you a cocktail. Mike hit my mom with a car.
No, I didn't.
That's okay, Mike. I have forgiven you. And now we're friends again and everything's great.
Well, wait, is your mom okay?
Please, we're trying to have a conversation.
Wow, you're a lot nicer on days of our lives.
You're leaving too?
I'll stay if you can tell me my name.
Have a good night.
I have to see the Met.
Okay, let me stop you right there. The Mets suck, okay?
You want to see the Yankees?
No, not the Mets. The Met, singular.
Which one? They all suck.
The museum.
I don't think so. You see, Molly, what people don't understand is that acting is a discipline. It takes a lot of hard work.
So where'd you study?
Oh, I didn't go to college.
No, where'd you study acting?
Molly, people don't study acting.
And he's pretty creepy, you know, cranking up the heat so that women will take their clothes off. He sees women as potential lovers and not much else. I think actually this scene with Phoebe, this was more of an educational thing for the viewers.
Let me get this straight. He got you to beg to sleep with him. He got you to say he never has to call you again. And he got you thinking this is a great idea. This man is my God.
So I think that was doing Phoebe and the viewers a favour in showing that kind of mentality that some guys have. And I know it's like a joke at this point, like it's the joke that Joey is a womanizer.
That's Joey.
Hey, how you doing?
Don't!
But when they're making a video for their baby daughter's future 18th birthday party and he's like, oh, I'm gonna like hit on her friends. No. No, don't say that.
Well, hey, there's Uncle Joey. Hey, say something to Emma on her 18th birthday.
18, huh?
Joey, no!
What? It's for her hot friends.
I don't think that would get made now. I think that was very 90s humour. Even in the 90s, though, I think you would have kind of raised your eyebrows at your, like, 30-something friend saying that your baby's future friends. Yeah, that's not a good thing to say.
Joey definitely seems to see women as objects. He just assumes that intimacy is on the menu everywhere he goes. And I know it's a light-hearted comedy, so I don't want to make this too serious, but it is kind of scary for Monica that this guy she's never met before, she's just invited in to be neighbourly, instantly strips off, and she has a naked stranger in her living room expecting you-know-what.
You said you want to come in for some lemonade?
So?
Were you just going to give me lemonade?
Yeah!
And while we do see plenty of his seductive powers, a lot obviously happens off screen, like the endless stream of women that he sleeps with and then never calls.
I'm very angry at him because he slept with me and never called me back. Me too.
Me too.
And if that literal Me Too moment wasn't enough for you, we have plenty of other examples of Joey being pretty blatant about his view of women being mostly there for his gratification.
Hey, Joey, are men ever nice to strange women for no reason?
No, only for...
Thank you.
So, Joey tells me you two met in acting class.
Yeah, they teamed us up as partners. Joey picked 3 scenes for us to do. All of them had us making out.
I'm sorry you feel bad, but haven't you ever slept with a woman where it meant more to her than it did to you?
No.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Pig.
And Joey is the kind of person who thinks, whatever the question, naughty stuff is the answer.
Oh, I know.
And not one of your coupons for an hour of Joey love.
And when it comes to the women that he wants, even if he only wants them for one thing, he will do anything to knock out the competition.
Look, you dating this girl you came with?
Well, I was hoping after tonight that maybe I could, you know...
No, she's fair game if you ask me. Sorry, buddy.
All right. Hey, you know, fair's fair. I mean, you know, when you're right, you're right. What can I say? But, hey,
And Joey is still seeing other women while he's dating and sleeping with Kathy.
And this came after the episode where she had her birthday and spent it with him. So they are an established couple at this point.
Hey, who was that? That would be Casey. We're going out tonight.
Going out, huh? Wow. So, things didn't work out with Kathy, huh? Bummer.
No, things are fine with Kathy. I'm having a late dinner with her tonight, right after my early dinner with Casey.
He's very, very casual, and I guess that's okay if everyone knows that he's that casual, but I don't know how open he is about that. So he is not someone that you would want anyone you cared about to date. There's a not nice side of Joey. I actually don't think it's surprising that this guy who likes to paint himself as a womanizer doesn't understand women at all. He doesn't pick up on Phoebe's obvious discomfort that he's dating her twin.
She is so hot.
Yeah, listen, okay, before you do anything Joey-like, you might want to run it by,
Yeah. Phoebes?
Yeah.
You think it would be okay if I asked out your sister?
Why? Why would you want to do that? Why?
It is quite hurtful because it's like, you find her attractive but not me even though I'm identical. Yeah, so it's just my personality you don't like. Like, that's obviously, that does hurt Phoebe's feelings. Maybe for him it's like, oh, I can try going out with Phoebe without ruining that friendship. But I think he almost ruins a friendship with Phoebe anyway, so he just doesn't understand that of course she doesn't want him to date her sister. He's getting her to try on clothes that he's getting for Ursula, and it's just like, no, like any idiot would see that that's not a very tactful thing to do.
Phoebe, can you do me a favor? You try this on, I just want to make sure it fits.
Oh, my first birthday present. Oh, this is really...
Oh, no. It's for Ursula. I just figured, you know, size-wise.
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay, fits.
And you know, it's really funny because obviously Joey is responsible for the story that makes people want to sleep with you, apparently. If anyone has any theories on what the ending of that story is, please let me know. So Joey's giving Ross advice about women. I mean, he is quite nice to kind of not laugh out loud when Ross says,
If you ever have any problem with the ladies, you know I'll help you out.
That means a lot to me, man.
but you know what? Ross actually does give him advice later to help him with Charlie.
Like, she wants to go to all these cultural places, and I don't know how to talk about that stuff. You gotta help me out.
So I think Joey is all talk, doesn't necessarily know what he's on about. Joey tells Ross that he's left it too late to ask Rachel out because he's in the friend zone.
It's never gonna happen.
Why not?
Because you waited too long to make your move, and now you're in the friend zone.
I'm just going to tell you, there's no such thing as friend zone. I think it's just the polite way that people reject someone when they're not into them. If, like, someone that you're friends with, but you don't have any attraction to, if they ask you out and come on to you, it just seems nice to say, oh, I just don't see you that way because we've been friends for so long. That's much nicer, isn't it, than saying, I have zero attraction to you. I think it's just a myth because people use it as an excuse. I think if you find someone attractive, it's not going to matter how long you've been friends with them. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's give that a go. So I think it's quite interesting that Joey says this because, I don't know, maybe in the 90s this was more of like a buzzword.
Okay, so I did a quick Google while I was editing, and according to the internet, the term friendzone actually originates with this episode, so there you go.
And if you don't ask her out soon, you're gonna end up stuck in the zone forever.
So where are we staying? Is the movie putting us up in a big hotel suite?
No, not really. It's an independent film, you know, so we don't have a real big budget. I figured I'd just stay in your room.
I think Joey really takes advantage of Chandler's kind nature. Chandler is an enabler. You kind of want to shake him after a while and just go, stop paying for everything.
Hey, Chan, can you help me out here? I promise I'll pay you back.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. Including the waffles last week, you now owe me $17 jillion.
He invites him to a premiere to pay him back.
You know, Chandler's always supported my career. He's paid for acting classes and headshots and stuff, and, well, this would be my way of paying you back.
So you're never actually going to pay me back?
And that's going to be his way of paying back all those, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe Joey is not even aware of how much Chandler does for him. Although, just coming back to this clip where they're adding up how much Chandler has paid from over the years, they mention several years' rent and utilities. So it sounds as if Joey hasn't actually been paying his share of the bills and Chandler has been covering it for him, which is absolutely insane. And proof that Joey actually does know exactly how much Chandler does for him.
Okay, what else? Rent.
Okay, 2-3 years of rent, utilities, food.
Like, he gets so angry with Chandler.
Okay, you've done a lot for me in my career. I wanted to pay you back by taking you to the premiere, but you missed it.
You think, would you not just give your friend a little bit of leeway when they've done you so many favours over the years? And then, you know, Joey, when he does have some money, he just leaves in a strop to get his own apartment. Then he has to come crawling back.
I'm 28 years old. I've never lived alone, and I'm finally at a place where I got enough money that I don't need a roommate anymore. What are you getting so bent out of shape for, huh? It's not like we agreed to live together forever.
The second there's a problem, he's just like out the door. He doesn't want to work on it with Chandler.
Look, you know what? If this is the way you feel, then maybe you should take it.
Well, that's how I feel.
Well, then maybe you should take it.
Well, then maybe I will.
Fine with me.
Great! Then you'll be able to spend more quality time with your real friends, the spoons.
And I think that's quite unreasonable because, you know, when your friends have been through a lot with you, you don't just drop them for like a small thing like that. And of course, he throws Chandler out of the car on the way to Vegas because he says something he doesn't like. That's such a horrible thing to do, isn't it? I think that's probably Joey's lowest point, to be honest. Like, doing that to Chandler when he's always been such a support, I think that's really mean.
Well, you don't think this is going to be a big break for me?
No.
Yeah, I don't want you on the trip.
All right, fine. Why don't you pull over? I'll get out right now.
Fine. Get out.
You're not actually supposed to stop on the bridge.
Get out!
It is interesting that Chandler basically turns this around and takes the blame on himself. So I think there is some low self-esteem at play here.
You know, we were playing that game where you ask a question, then you have to answer it really fast.
Oh, that game should not be played without my supervision.
Well, I don't know what made him so mad. You know, all I said was that I didn't think this was going to be his big break, that this movie wasn't going to do anything for him, and that, you know, it didn't sound like a real movie. Okay, he should have pushed me off the bridge.
Also, when Joey takes a job at Chandler's workplace, when he gets him the job as a favour to help him out.
Joey, I'm just saying, if you need something to hold you over, I can get you a job right here as an entry-level process. Look, if you want to see some rough numbers, I can get them to you by Wednesday.
Rough numbers? This company was not built on rough numbers. Am I right, Mr. Doctor? Hey, I just figured Joseph's the kind of guy who likes to mix it up. You know, get in there, ruffle some feathers.
Why?
Look, I'm sorry, but that's what Joseph does.
And also, it's probably one of my favourite moments in Friends. But the nuisance calls to Chandler's office obviously do upset him, and Joey's just doing this to amuse himself, and that's like the friend that has lent him all this money.
Hello, Chandler Bing.
Hello, Mr. Bing. I love you.
All right, whoever this is, stop calling me. It's been 6 months. It's not funny.
But I love you.
Leave me alone! For the love of God, leave me alone!
And that's Wednesday.
We could probably do like a psychological deep dive into Joey resenting Chandler for having money and lending it to him and making him feel small, but that would have to be a whole other video. Let me know if you want me to do it.
And then, of course, there's the occasion where Chandler thinks Joey was trying to save Ross's life rather than his in an emergency, but Joey lets him know how much he means to him with a single bite of his favourite sandwich.
How good is that?
Oh, wow.
See? Mm-hmm. Hey, oh, dude, what are you doing?
I thought you were showing me how much I mean to you.
Yeah, with a bite. Jeez.
And obviously Chandler was in the wrong to make a move on Kathy and give in to that temptation, but I do think Joey overreacts to it because he has said before that they were not exclusive.
But what is the big deal? It's not like we're exclusive.
Look, Joey, Kathy is clearly not fulfilling your emotional needs.
You can see why he feels betrayed, but I think he could give Chandler a little more slack than he does.
So imagine that you're Rachel, you have a male roommate, and he just helps himself to your knickers out of the laundry basket. If Joey did not look the way he looks, he would not get away with this. If he was some like greasy creep that no one found attractive, and he was like going through his roommate's underwear and putting it on, that would be like the worst character in the entire world, wouldn't it? We would all be like, oh, do you remember that guy on that show? Oh, it's so disgusting. But because he's cute, it's just like a funny thing that he just takes Rachel's knickers and wears them.
Check it out.
And like, what does he do with them afterwards? Does he throw them away or does he just put them back in the laundry? I don't want to know. I'm sure Rachel would not want to know either. Also, he helps himself to a nap in her bed, which is bad enough, but then he goes through and finds her book and then teases her about it. Like, there's so many, like, he just does not have boundaries. Like, imagine if you had a roommate who did that. Like, when they don't want to sleep in their own bed, they just sleep in yours. Like, ooh, no. And it's not just Rachel who finds him to be a terrible roommate.
Oh, look. What? The spoon. You licked and you put? You licked and you put.
Yeah, so?
Well, don't you see how gross that is? I mean, that's like you using my toothbrush. You used my toothbrush.
Oh, that was only because I used the red one to unclog the drain.
Mine is the red one. Oh, God. Can open, worms everywhere.
Like, he would be a nightmare roommate, wouldn't he?
Is that my bra? What the hell are you doing with my bra?
Oh, no, it's not what you think. We used it to, fling water balloons off the roof.
And he also broke the lock on the bathroom door so he could walk in on Rachel.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry about that, but I couldn't get that lock to work on the door.
Yeah, Joey kind of disabled it when I moved in.
And again, it's played for laughs. It's like, oh, Joey, what are you like? But yeah, that's not good, is it? Really? And also, when he is being forced to cover up for Chandler and Monica, but he finds a naked picture of Monica, he doesn't just go, oh, well, it's my friend, I shouldn't look at that. He's just like, hee, I'm gonna gaze upon this for a while.
Oh my God, that's Monica!
So he does not have good boundaries with his female friends.
Someone has to call Frank and Alice, and then my mom might. Joey, what are you doing?
I gotta get the before shot.
I know he fancies all of them. And I know that Matt LeBlanc and Lisa Kudrow wanted it to be this running joke that they would go back and show scenes where they would just like tumble out of a wardrobe where they'd been like doing stuff, YouTube. And they were like, yeah, that'd be hilarious. So I think the idea that Joey and Phoebe just got together occasionally, I think that's completely believable. And obviously he tries to date Rachel seriously, and also when he first meets Monica, he really likes her, she likes him. So he does find all of his friends attractive. I think probably most men do find their female friends attractive, I'm just saying. But he's just constantly, and I think this is one of those things that you just do in your 20s, you just have that really flirty relationship with your male friends, and it doesn't really mean anything. I think with Joey, maybe he does mean it, and it's just like it's played off as a joke.
I know it sounds really weird, but we're just both so bad at relationships.
We are. Help us.
Help.
All right, but you do it with me once.
Joey?
Didn't think so.
Okay, so this is probably true of most sitcom characters because that's just the nature of the beast. But I think Joey in particular just creates chaos everywhere he goes. He creates misunderstandings, and it just everything becomes a little bit crazy when he's around.
I'm sorry, what's going on?
Alors, si vous pouviez jouer le jeu avec lui.
Good job, little buddy.
So the whole proposing to Rachel debacle when she's just given birth and, you know, probably isn't in the clearest state of mind, really. He could have stopped that. He could have just said, oh, no, sorry, Rachel, you've misunderstood. This isn't mine. I wasn't doing that at all.
Joey. Oh, my God. Okay.
He doesn't. He just like can't bring himself to speak and lets that situation just run to its crazy, you know, Ross and Rachel relationship ruining end. Ross and Rachel were kind of on the verge of starting up again, as Ross said so romantically. But obviously Joey's actions, and Rachel's to be fair, just put the kibosh on that. It's just not going to work. Also, he kind of tricks Monica into going on a double date with him because he's trying to get with the other woman. So he wants Monica to think she has a chance with the other guy, even though he's on a date with the other woman. So he tells them they're siblings. It all gets, you know, kind of crazy.
Hello? Were we at the same table? It's like cocktails in Appalachia.
Come on, they're close.
Close? She's got her tongue in his ear.
Oh, like you've never gotten a little rambunctious with Ross.
But again, it could have got even worse. Like Monica could have been really embarrassed. But Joey doesn't care. He's just like, I'm going to create chaos. Also, do you know what? When I rewatch Friends, as we all do periodically, don't we? We just like start from the beginning again. I have to skip the episodes with Chandler and Monica's proposal. I just can't bear the whole thing.
Dude, I can't talk to you now. I got to find Monica.
She's gone.
What?
She's gone. She had a bag and she left.
What are you talking about?
She was all crying. She said you guys want different things and that she needed time to think.
Well, why didn't you stop her? Why didn't you just tell her it was a plan?
I did. I told her everything, Chandler, but she wouldn't believe me.
Well, where did she go?
To her parents, I think, and she said that you shouldn't call her. But if I were you, I would.
I can't believe I ruined this.
I am so sorry, man.
So this proposal episode is obviously designed to create maximum suspense for us as the viewers, but I kind of think about the real life situation, what that would have been like for Chandler, and it's played off like Joey did them this favour, like, yeah, I'm going to use my acting skills to make Chandler think that Monica's left him. But that must have actually caused him a couple of moments of real panic and pain, and Monica's obviously fine with it, but I would think that's not really very cool.
Also, he's just annoying. He's just like an annoying brother when he's sitting in the chair that Chandler wants to sit in, that he was sitting in and got up for a minute.
Get out of my chair, deal hole.
Okay.
He's the one who suggests Ross should drink the glass of fat, although they all kind of go along with it. So they're all terrible, actually.
Look, what can I do to show you how much I want you to be there?
You could drink the fat.
In fairness, I think a lot of Joey's chaos could be avoided if people were just realistic about their expectations of him. Like, maybe don't ask him to officiate at your wedding because he will do a terrible job. He also drops Chandler in it by letting slip that he almost jilted Monica, but I think really somebody had to tell her, didn't they?
Well, let's get started before the groom takes off again, huh? Okay.
And, you know, crashing the date that Ross is on with Kristen, that's pretty low. He could have just waited his turn as they'd agreed, but no.
Ross.
Hi. Hi. It's nice to meet you. Yeah. I used to have a friend named Joey. I don't anymore.
He reneges on the deal. And, like, that's not even really get addressed, actually, that he did that. So, yeah, he's not a trustworthy friend, is he? He's always just doing stuff that messes with people, and sometimes it's accidental, like with Rachel, but most of the time it is deliberate.
I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, my muffin was gone. Who took it?
Somebody opened the door to the coffee house, and a raccoon came running in and went straight for your muffin. I said, hey, don't eat that. That's Phoebe's.
So these 10 items are not in any particular order, but I think this one sums him up quite well. He is just an incompetent man-child. Like when his fridge breaks, he can't just get a new one like a grown-up. He has to try and make it everyone else's problem. He can't, like, make it to professional gigs, even when he writes things on his arm.
And here's the flow with the stars of the popular daytime soap, Days of Our Lives.
I forgot I'm supposed to be there. I can't believe I forgot. I usually write stuff like this down on my arm. Oh, stupid long sleeves.
I think we all probably know someone like this, and it's like, why don't you have a diary? He can't pick up his grandmother. I don't know why you would entrust that job to Joey, actually.
Pick up Grandma at the airport?
Oh, man.
He just, again, creates chaos when he tries to do some DIY in the apartment and just, like, ruins Chandler's door, almost kills Chandler with a drill. Another one of my favourite moments, actually.
Oh, sorry. Did I get you?
No, you didn't get me. It's an electric drill. You get me, you kill me.
Calm down. Do you want this unit or not?
I do not want this unit.
Power saw kind of got away from me there.
A good job, Joe.
Wow. It's big.
Wow, that ripped.
He gets them robbed, and again, like, he's stupid, so you can't really blame him for that. Can't really help your IQ, can you? But being his flatmate, or his roommate, as you'd say in the US, it kind of creates a lot of inconvenience for Chandler because of Joey's just general incompetence at being a grown-up.
Yeah. What happened?
Oh, man, he promised he wouldn't take the chairs.
What the hell happened? How are you locked in there? Where the hell's all of our stuff?
And also, he thinks like a child. And I'm gonna, like, in the good video, I think this is actually quite an endearing quality of his. But, like, buying chicks for a couple who've just adopted twin babies, like, that's... I mean, I don't have kids, but even I know that would not be what you'd be wanting at that particular moment in your life.
For your housewarming gift, I got you a baby chick and a baby duck.
Really? You got us a chick and a duck?
Oh, great. Just what you want for a new house with infants. Bird feces.
So it's like his childlike attitude is quite sweet, but it does have, like, real life consequences. And also I think a lot of people really hate him for for burning Ginger's false leg.
Oh my God. Joey, what did you do after you threw her leg on the fire?
I ran.
I mean, it's not the throwing it in the fire accident that's the problem. It's the running off and leaving her that would be the real issue there. So he's not able to face the consequences of stuff that he's done. He just kind of runs like a child would rather than facing up to it like a grown-up would. So yeah, man-child in the worst possible way. He's just not really fully independent. I mean, obviously there's the joke that he's going to have a room in Chandler and Monica's house. And of course, then we have the spin-off where he went to LA I never actually watched the spin-off, and apparently it's quite hard to get hold of now. But I mean, I could have told them that wouldn't be a success, because obviously we don't want to think of Joey being separated from the rest of the friends. We want to think of them all living happily ever after, just continuing what we've seen them do for 10 years. So nobody wanted to see Joey going off by himself. So obviously that was going to fail. As I've said, I think Chandler does enable him. But it's this whole idea that he isn't capable of looking after himself. And like, of course he is. He's an adult. He's a grown man. He can, you know, get food. He can cook for himself if he wants to. He doesn't have to just get takeout and rely on people giving him money for the rent and stuff. He's a grown man. He should be able to just look after himself, but he just doesn't. And that is why Joey is the worst friend. And I will, of course, be making a counterpart video talking about why I think he's the best friend. So look out for that coming soon, and I will be making more Friends content in future and also some other stuff. I would love it if you join me. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.